So this video here is going to be about how we convert decimals into fractions. We're looking at how we can convert fractions into decimals in a later video, but we just want to start with this one just so we can start with the basics and build from there. So I've got the steps over here, but we'll read this information over here first. So how to convert decimals to fractions. So what you need to make sure you do know is that you understand the place value of fractions, because this is definitely going to help you as we go through. So express the decimal places as a fraction, and you're using the denominator is a power of 10, which happens when we use place value. So for example, if we have 0.25, we have the tenths and then the hundredths column, so this is 25 hundredths. That gives us a fraction. And then what you need to always do, and it's sort of, I guess, we'll go into that a little bit more detail later, you need to remember to simplify fractions whenever possible. So by turning this into this means simplifying the fraction. And we'll go into that a little bit more detail later on. So these are the three steps here of how to convert a decimal into a fraction. So first, you need to determine the place value of the decimal number. Okay, we've done that in previous videos. You then need to express it or write it then as a fraction, and then simplify the fraction if possible. So we're going to do a couple of examples here, and I'll show you why these ones are here are different. So the first one is convert the following decimal to a fraction and then into their simplest form. So I've got here 0.239. So first I need to determine the place value of the decimal number. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So really what this is 239 thousandths. Okay, so what I've done there is I've just expressed that as a fraction because I've known the place value. Now I can't simplify this anymore, so this here is the answer. Okay, so 0.239 as a fraction is 239 over 1000. Now we're going to do number B here, so I'll write the question. So it's 10.35. Now remember in our very first video we looked at what decimals are. So if we have this number here, we know that the numbers to the right of the decimal place are the parts of a whole, and the numbers to the left of the decimal place are actually whole numbers. So we won't be able to convert this into a fraction because it's a whole number. So you'll just simply write 10 as a whole number, and then we're going to focus purely on the part that is to the right of the decimal place, which is a fraction. So here we'll go through the steps again, determine the place value. So we have tenths, hundredths. So this will be 35 hundredths. So what we have here is a mixed number, which means a whole number and a fraction. So our answer is 10 and 35 hundredths. But I know that I can simplify this fraction, okay, because we have 5 and 5. So we will have 10, so 35 and 100 can be converted down to 7 over 20. So that's how you can change a decimal into a fraction. Make sure you have written down these steps here and you go through those processes. So understand the difference between a whole number and a decimal number, and you'll be able to easily convert those decimals to fractions. Thanks guys.